They give definition to the West, and they're both universal, not parochial, the opposite of that. And I told that to those people in Lansing, and they were puzzled. What does this mean for you? The most important thing, in my opinion, for young people to know is that things are real. You can trust your senses. They will argue it out. Aristotle writes, there's nothing in the soul that does not get in there, right, except by way of the senses. And as Nathan and I were arguing this evening, if you discard the evidence of your senses, you're left with nothing, which means that literally you disappear. And why would you want to do that foolish thing anyway? It means that you would doubt a mother's love. You know that family is collapsing all over the world. These families represented here that produce that. We're going to be manufacturing children soon enough because the technology exists. And then we can design them the way we want. Predicted in 1931 by both Winston Churchill and Aldous Huxley. But if you think that things are real, then questions become urgent, and you get to find out how ambitious you are. Because you may be ambitious in some low way. Ambitious to succeed, ambitious to be comfortable, ambitious to have money, ambitious to be influential or powerful. But I'm going to tell you an argument, this is my last point, that you will find in one of the two greatest of the classical works, in my opinion. You know, in Plato's Republic, Plato is writing a dialogue about his teacher, Socrates, and one of the most important characters in the Republic, the greatest of the dialogues, is Glaucon, who was Plato's brother. And they meet in the beginning. And they talk first with an old man and Cephalus, and that goes a certain way, and then the first real argument comes, very important argument, because there's a man named Thrasymachus. And Thrasymachus is a sophist. Many of the Platonic dialogues have the names of sophists in the title. And Thrasymachus is a famous sophist, and here's what sophists do. They teach young, ambitious people how to be powerful in exchange for money. Because, you know, the decline of Greece and the decline of Rome was connected to the phenomenon that people just wanted strength, comfort, pleasure, sway, money. Look about the world today, right? And so, Thrasymachus and Socrates are competitors for the souls of the young and influential, like these. Because think what they've done, see? It's unusual. Not every kid in this day and age, when there are so many easy options. By the way, Jessica enjoyed one of those options for a while. And then she stands up here and talks about how proud she is to have done this craziness. Does that tell you something about her soul? Or Nathan, you know, who stands there and makes nihilistic arguments to me because he knows they're the most controversial kind to make. And it's his commencement night, he might as well make a steak. Does that tell you something about his soul? It's those souls. That's what's interesting for the future. That's what matters. And Socrates says to Thrasymachus, he says, okay, I give you, Thrasymachus' argument was, justice is whatever the stronger person wants. Whoever's got strength, he gets to say what it is. And Socrates said, good, I'll give you that. Now, let's appoint you the strongest man. Tell me what your interest is. Tell me what is good for you. You see how the question immediately turns into the fundamental question? The question of the class, or the question of the good? Imagine yourself strong and powerful. In Plato's Republic, there's the story of the ring of Gyges. You put this ring, it's like in the Lord of the Rings, you put this ring on and turn it, and you can disappear, and that means you can have anything you want. What do you do with that power? Today in the world, we are gathering incredible power over ourselves and over nature. What shall we do with that power? In an age where it is thought that strength and success are the only requirement. Thrasymachus could not answer that question because it cannot be answered. Because strength and power, the more you have of it, the more it raises the question, what are you to do with it? What is the good is more sharply presented to those who exercise influence than those who don't. And so, the word in Greek is therion. Thrasymachus rose up like a wild beast and shouted at Socrates and left. And then this is my point, my last point. It's my point for you. Plato's brother then rose up and said, okay, Glaucon said to Socrates, and he gives him a command, see. He says, okay, then Socrates. And by the way, I will tell you, it's because I read this passage in a class that I was forced to take when I was a junior in college that I am not a lawyer today. I decided to get an education instead. Show me, Socrates, he said, this ambitious young man, wanting, ambitious in the biggest possible way, you see. Show me then that justice is good and right, even if by practicing it you will win nothing but punishment. Whereas, if you would pick injustice, you could have your rewards. Show me that justice is good for its own sake. Now, Plato's Republic is one of the greatest books ever written. And you know, it's 2,500 years later, and we still read it. And the whole action of Plato's Republic, all of the rest of the Republic, proceeds from that command, from that ambitious young man. And so my point is simple. The reason to have a classical education is to nourish your soul.